Welcome to St Mary's Church, Grandtully in Strathtay. So, I've been away over that way at that Episcopalian church, but today we're still on the same day actually. There's not much else to do. It's a rather cloudy summer's day, isn't it? It's not much fun. So I thought, I passed this morning, I thought, well, let's just go backtrack and we'll have a little gaze. So it said 60 metres, so not far to go. I need to bring the oil can for these hinges. There's an old graveyard, any. This looks like an old church, eh? Very old, actually. It was 18th century. Perhaps even older. These floors are great, they always do. So we'll have a little peek around. I don't know if I can access any. Let me just read this. The simple rectangular chapel was built for Alexander Stewart of Grandtully, pronounced Grantley. Oh yes, Grantley, I was told that. It is a remarkable example of a Scottish medieval parish church, and its 400-year-old painted ceiling will take your breath away. Take your breath away. What was that track? I can't remember who sang that. Take your breath away. Yeah. St Mary's was built in 1533. It is much older than what I thought. For the community of Perthshire. Though we know that an earlier church stood near here in the 1200s, it was enlarged and refitted by Sir William Stewart in 1636 when King Charles I was reintroducing a dominant in Scottish churches. Windows and doors were altered through the most dramatic addition, as with the painted ceiling. St Mary's was used for family burials and local worship until 1892. The building was then divided. The Stewart family vaults occupied the far end, while this end became a cattle byre. A cow shed. Oh dear. Well, what an old church this is, eh? Look at the paintings on the ceiling. Lots of coats of arms. Who's that? One Crieff. Duke of Athol. Earl of Athol, sorry. Is there any light in here, any? There's lights, any? They're on a time switch. My, what a wonderful place, isn't it? I'll tell you something, the atmosphere in here is absolutely wonderful. It really is. It's 1636. There's a lovely scent in here actually. It's really pretty. I wished it had had some sort of they've put a concrete floor down. That's obviously because it was instructed that this was once turned into cattle byre. So you can imagine what it'd be like when but it's a good feel about it in here. I must there's not an awful lot of information. I must do some more research. What's in here? So there's a hidden gem in Perthshire. But not many people know about St Mary's Church. I've not got my spectacles any, but we'll try our best. As everyone does who don't wear spectacles, read things at an arm's length. Actually, I need to go outside to read this. I'll bring it back in, obviously. The carved stone on the wall is dated 1636. It shows two sets of initials, SWS for Sir William Stewart and DAM for Dame Agnes Crieff. That's our coat of arms on the ceiling. The stone was probably a declaration of their ownership and would have been incorporated into the building in a prominent position, most likely as a lintel above a door or window. The iron structure was part of a mort safe, a cage-like contraption designed to protect burials from grave robbers, oh dear, who stole bodies for medical study in the early 1800s. The mort safe would have been placed over a grave for a few weeks until a body was too decomposed to be of use. This was true. In many graveyards, you will see like a fence, a high fence round the gravesite. I don't know if there's any out here. The light's on a time switch, okay. How do we get into the graveyard, sir? Expect me to squeeze through this lot, Eddie? Must be another access, surely. I don't think there is. Yeah, so the graves would be surrounded by actually like a cage. And this was to prevent, and it had a padlock and everything, and it prevented the grave robbers from stealing the body. Just much what has been said there just now. Oh, this gate's rather stiff, Andy. Yeah, we've done it. We've done it with your strong fingers. We'll come back out this way. Strathtay, as I say, it's very green. Can we get in here, Andy? If we can. This is marvellous, isn't it? What a little find for a Saturday afternoon, isn't it? It's exciting. Look at the little small people that used to bend down before we get inside somewhere. This one's locked. This is where look at the small windows, eh? These houses were terrifically built, so they were. The 16th century, I mean, goodness sake. 1566. Who's all buried in here, Andy? Let's have a little wander. See if we can find any prominent names, any family association. Nobody's been in here. I think they said the last burial was 1892. Yeah, there's a memorable for somebody. Yeah, there's a lot of Stuarts here, and a lot of Thompsons. John Stuart Farmer died the 1st November 1852, and his wife Jessie Thompson. So there's all Stuarts and Thompsons around here, Annie. Every grave I've passed so far has got the name Stuart or Thompson on it. Here's a McLaren. Because the McLarens were big down in the Kinbuck area, and the Murrays were in Strathtay, and then the Grahams down towards the Oakles and stuff, and all the clans and all that are set about. I think we can safely say that those bloody maniacs that were hacking away at Crieff Cemetery, they probably don't know this one exists, so they've not been up here. Probably not the best time of year to be here. The grass is quite long, it's quite damp underfoot, I'm afraid. But nevertheless, we persevere just to bring something of interest to the viewers. I can't really give you enough more information than what I've read, so I will have to put some information on screen if I can find anything about this St Mary's Kirk here in Grandtully. So it's not Grandtully, it's Grandtully. I remember that from a long time ago. Somebody I knew said Logierate. I says, Logierate, near Grandtully. He says, no, Grandtully. Why don't they spell it Grandtully? It's like Blantyre. It's not called Blantyre, it's called Blantyre. Blantyre. David Livingstone, the famous explorer who discovered the Victoria Falls, came from Blantyre. I've been to his museum when I was a child. I was about 7. Because he was a great missionary. Went to Africa. Scrimgeour. So I can't really give you an awful lot of information about this one, I'm afraid. It's just a graveyard, but it's rather overgrown. Nevertheless, isn't it fantastic to have just discovered this little church from one glance? This is what's happening to me a lot of late. I seem to have my mind has been open to a lot of new things which I have passed 1,000 times in my life and just didn't notice the signage. It's really weird, really odd. It's so many of these things that I turn up at now. We've always been here, but I just never knew they were in existence. So it's God bless them anyway. So that really takes you back in history. This goes right back to Charles I, who created all that nonsense for everybody. Yes. Ah, the graveyard is privately owned. No wonder those maniacs have not turned up to chop the headstones in half. I couldn't make any headway with the council on my wishes. They gave me a reprieve on my grandmother's headstone, but I just simply meant me writing to every single person in the family tree to say that for the layer to be passed into my name, so that I can bring an injunction against the people doing the work. But it's just it's completely impossible to do this. So the council know this, and so therefore I expect one day to go down in 6 months' time in my grandparents, great-grandparents' grave is going to be split in two and dug into the ground. So I did say to them, I said, I spoke to somebody in the law, I mean, it must have been an hour and a half in the call, explaining that I said, well, I will take out an injunction, and she says, well, you won't be able to, legally you don't own it, so you can't do anything about it. I said, I know, but I know what you're saying, but you made it so difficult. And, so it's one of these, it really, what do you call it, it drained me mentally in the springtime, because from the winter, from Christmas, dealing with this, but it was, it's just an impossible task to try and take on this lot. And there's nothing wrong with my grandparents, great-grandparents' headstone, nothing at all. It won't budge. I've tried several times to push it with my full strength, it won't budge. It's just a nonsense. It's a money-making exercise for somebody. It's deeply heartbreaking, to be honest. There we go, that's the Nationalist for you. I'm just going back in for one final gaze at the ceiling. It tells me here that the ceiling's 28 roundels depict saints, proverbs and coats of arms set amongst clusters of fruit, flowers and angels. Look at the angel. That's magnificent. I mean, this is, what, 1533? And we have the majority of Scots, even in the 18th century, living in stone huts with heather on the roof. Mind you, it was, they used what was available, didn't they? I would like to live in a stone building with a heather roof, to be honest. I wonder if Cromwell's people came up to here, how this one managed to escape the flames. I take it they didn't know it was here. Maybe no reason to, Andy, that's all. Absolutely beautiful. It truly is. Look at the angels, Andy, there's loads and loads of them. There's a reason for having angels, and it goes right back to the beginning of time. We've all got our own guardian angel. It's been with us since the very moment we came into this earth. The very moment. I'm glad I came in.